In this video, we're going to look at how you can filter your data to show a particular aspect of it. There are two ways to do this. Using filter, where you can filter by value, by condition, or by color, or using filter view, where you can show data filtered in a certain way. Let's start by looking at filter. If we have a set of data, we can add some filters to enable us to find the information we want or to focus on specific data. In this example, we have some course books which the teachers are using, and I want to be able to see what books a particular teacher is using. Select the headers of the columns. Generally, I select all of them, just in case I want to filter any of the columns. Click on the filter icon on the right of the toolbar. Small little triangles will be added in the header cells, plus it will highlight the range of cells included in the filter. To access the filter menu, click on one of the triangles. For example, I want to filter the list by one of the teachers. Click on the triangle in the teacher column. At the bottom of the dialog box, under Filter by Values, you will see the list of teachers with ticks next to them. This means that they are selected and that they will be visible in the filtered list. Here I want to see just the books that Bob has, so I untick the other teachers and leave Bob ticked. An alternative and quicker way, especially if you have a long list, is to click Clear and then tick the one you want. Then click OK. As you can see, this hides the other teachers from the list and just leaves Bob, and it's easy to see what books he has. To reset the list, click back on the same filter square and click on Select All, then click OK. And there's a really quick way to filter a list. Here, I want to filter the list we've just looked at by Teacher Tom. So right-click on a cell in the teacher column with Tom in it. You have two options. One, to create a filter for the list, but then you have to go and set up the filters. Two, set up the filter and filter it by the value in the cell. So here we click on Filter by Cell Value. As you can see, it's created the filter and it's only showing the rows with Tom in them. The filters we've just added filter by specific values, which you can hide or unhide. But how do you filter a range of values based on some kind of stated condition? For example, if we want to show just those students who have a pass mark of less than 50%, that's where filter by condition comes in. Here we have some exam results, and I want to filter the list to show those who haven't achieved the pass mark of 50%. Add a filter to the table as before. Click on the filter triangle in the exam results cell, then click Filter by Condition. A box will appear below with None selected. Click on that and you will have various conditions to choose from. As I want to see who had less than 50%, I select less than. Another box will appear below where you fill in the value. In this example, I'll type in 0.5. I need to type 0.5 and not 50, as I'm working with percentages here, and then click OK. As you can see, the list now shows 3 students that didn't pass. You can reset the list by clicking on the same filter again, then click on the condition, in this case less than, then click None for no condition. You can also filter a list by colors. As an example, here we have an action plan which shows the status of the actions using 3 colors. Red, not done. Yellow, in progress. And green, done. I want to filter it by the actions which haven't been started yet, i.e. the red ones. Add the filters to the headers as before. Click on the status column filter, then click filter by color, then fill color, then select the color you want to filter by, in this case, red. As you can see, it's filtered the list by the red actions. To remove the filter, go back to filter by color and click none. To remove a filter completely, click on the filter icon to remove it. Filter is great for most cases, but it does have a couple of disadvantages. When you filter something, anyone else viewing that sheet will also see the filtered view, and sometimes you don't want to affect how someone else sees the sheet. Sometimes you want to use the same filters over and over again, and having to set them up each time would be a little bit annoying and time consuming. So you've guessed it, there's an alternative way to filter which addresses these two issues. Here I have some performance figures of some students in 4 different classes, A, B, C, and D. I want to create a filter for class A. Select the header row and all the columns you want to include in your filter. Then click on the filter views icon and then click create filter view. This brings up the filter view. As you can see, it's selected the data in the columns. You can edit the range if you need to. You then set up the filter you want. So click on the class filter triangle, then untick classes B, C, and D, leaving A ticked. Then click OK. This will filter the list, showing only class A. Once you have filtered the data the way you want it, click Save View. This will prompt you for a name for your view. Let's call it Class A and click Save. Others viewing the sheet with their accounts won't see this view. They will see the sheet unfiltered. To close the filter, click on the cross on the top right-hand side of the page. To filter by that filter again, click on the Filter Views icon and then click Class A. It will filter exactly what you set up the first time. Sometimes you want to create filters that are similar to each other. And the best way is to duplicate a previously made one. For example, for this class performance list, I want to create a filter for each class. So let's create one for class B from the class A filter we've just made. Click on the 3 dots at the top of the sheet and click Duplicate View. And this makes a copy of the existing filter. By default, like a duplicated sheet tab, it's added Copy Of to the name of the filter view. We can change that by clicking on the name and renaming it. Notice you can also change the range from here too. Now we want to show just the Class B students. So click on the class filter and this time only tick Class B. When you click on the filter views icon, you will see the new filter Class B has been added to the list. If you want to delete a filter, open the filter via the filter views menu and click on the 3-dot menu. Then click on delete view. You can also delete all the filter views in a tab by going to the data menu, then view options, and then delete all filter views in tab. If we edit the data in the column or columns that are being used to filter the list, the filter itself doesn't refresh the data being shown immediately. For example, if we change a couple of these students from Class A to B, they will still be on the Class A list until we refresh the list. The quickest way to do this is to refresh the page by clicking the refresh icon in the browser, which will reload the data and apply the filter on the updated data. The filter views you set up are available for all those who have access to your spreadsheet. You can also share a filter view via the URL. With a filter view active, you will notice that the URL is longer than normal. After the normal file part, ending with /edit, we can see that it's getting a specific sheet by its sheet ID, which is after the hashtag GID equals part. And then we have an extra part, which is the filter view ID. All we need to do is share that link, and the user clicking on it, assuming they have access to the sheet, will go straight to the sheet, and it will show the data filtered by the filter view. It's a wonderful way to share different views of the same sheet without affecting anyone else's view. It's a wonderful way to share different views of the same sheet without affecting anyone else's view.